Hey traders, Nick Shaheen here, looking at AMD and how played it overnight. So they reported earnings and obviously markets liked what they saw. And today is not so much a trade alert or a boast, it's just a to show a concept of calendars. And yesterday I was chatting with friends and I said no one expects AMD at 23. So that was my thesis to go along. And I want to remind us that the overnight, the short-term reaction on the earnings is completely arbitrary, binary. It's a guesswork. We don't know what the company is going to say, nor do we know how the markets will react to it. Even if you gave us the P&L yesterday on AMD, I couldn't tell you it was going to be up. So today it's up. So what did I do? I bought next week's 23 calls. So that's pretty expensive, pretty bold for somebody that wants to play a coin flip. You know, I'm not a gambler. So to lower my entry cost, I sold this week's at 23. So that lowered my entry cost tremendously. I think it was 10 cents net to enter the trade. And now it's, whatever, 35, 40 cents. I checked this morning. So I can book it for a big win, or I can let it play out. What do I want to happen? I want it to inch up to 23 and die and then do this and then rally next week. So this way I'm long this call cheap because it only cost me 10 cents where it would have cost me 3 times as much if I just bought it and held it. I would have made more money now in hindsight, but so far. But it would have been a bigger bet, less of a lottery ticket. I probably wouldn't have taken it because it was more money. So all kinds of stuff comes into play. This was a sane way of lowering my entry cost, yet leaving my potential upside unlimited if I can thread the needle. So I can book the whole thing now and it's a triple, if not more. Or I can let it play out and see what happens. I'm a guy that likes to book profits, so I'll probably book it. But I also added another twist to it. What was that? Okay, so I believe in the macroeconomic thesis, meaning I think stocks are fine for a while. We do have headlines, like right now. We have the Fed coming up in about an hour. We have President Trump meeting with some Chinese officials. God knows what comes out of that. And we have jobs reports at the end of the week. And we have China deadlines, and we have. But overall, the P&Ls are looking good. All right, so what did I do? I sold a put spread below, and this was a short-term 50-cent wide put spread. So essentially I got paid to enter because this credit was the net effect between collecting here on the credit and paying here was actually a money into my account. I usually don't like to do that, but in this case I was I basically doubled down on my upside bet. And that's probably because of what happened to NVIDIA. I figured the NVIDIA route basically shook a lot of froth off, but then I saw some strength into good stocks. And there's no better stock acting than this one for the whole year. Xilinx maybe is better this year because it's up so much recently, but overall I think AMD was still up 50% in a year where in the first red year for the markets, this guy was up 50%. I don't like the fundamentals, but I'm not an expert, so I yield. I'm just trading the price action here. So this is a pure price action play. So what puts did I sell? I sold it at 17, 16 and a half for the next 3 weeks. I can't remember the exact strike. Maybe March 8th or 1st. Anyway, one of those weeks has a 50-cent spread. I just collected almost a little bit more than what I paid. So let's call it even. So I basically went long for free. So I should leave it and let it run. So we shall see what happens there. So again, the concept of doing calendars is pretty simple. What I do is I buy whatever I want to buy out in time. It could be years, months, wherever. Let's say I buy April at whatever level. And to lower my entry point, I sell Marches. So I want price to go to it, stall, and then go back higher. So this one expires for 0. I win. I give myself a discount. Okay? This works on the bottom side. So if I think it's going to fall down the line, I buy this put. I sell this one against it. So I wanted to do this, this, and that. Actually, this white thing. So these are calendars. You could, I'll introduce the next concept, but I won't cover it. Diagonals, which is similar only at staggered levels. All right, Nick signing out. If you have any questions, let me know.